Hi and welcome back to Oddie's Airsoft. It's a review today. We're changing the format slightly of the way we review stuff. Basically we're going to be doing our reviews, and we're also going to be adding a thing called a product spotlight. Product spotlight is where we're going to have a look at a product that's out on the market. We won't be reviewing it, we won't be playing with it, we're just going to bring your attention to it. There's an awful lot of bits and pieces out there, and reality is we play a lot compared to some, but we have our favourite things that we like to play with when we're out, and we can't get round to sort of playing with everything we get hold of. But that's not to say it shouldn't be shown off, because an awful lot of players out there would be interested in seeing these new products. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, as I say, a product spotlight on different bits and pieces, but there will be no actual reviewing as if we've played with it. So, but what I am doing today is a review. Now the review is for my chest rig that I'm wearing, and I wear with my modern loadout. Now airsofters by default will buy equipment, they'll play with it, realise it's not for them and get rid of it, and we've all done that. And what happens is you get to a stage where you refine your equipment and your loadout to your personal taste, and this is my personal taste. So this is my chest rig. It's a Warrior Assault Systems Elite Ops Centurion chest rig, and it's the combo, and it's a Mk1. This was bought in UK Tactical. I cannot recommend them enough. The gear that I'm using isn't cheap. It's the real steel version. It's not a cheap Chinese clone or a copy. It is actually utilised by the troops in Afghanistan and other theatres of operation. Superbly made, very functional, and completely modular with the Mole system. So you can configure this completely to your desire or your needs, which I have done. This is how I rock up when I'm out playing. I have it configured to my needs. So we're going to start looking at this chest rig and the way I have it configured by looking at the backs first, and then we'll move from the top down the front. So I'm going to turn around. You don't have to look at my ugly mug again, which is great. But anyway, from the very bottom up we have the this is what they call a medic pouch. It's a horizontal utility pouch. It's great for taking extra batteries, BBs, or other sundry items that you might need, speed loaders, etc. Either side here I have two dump pouches, but I'm going to come to that in a minute. Just on either side of the horizontal pouch I have two smoke grenade pouches. Now the Warrior Assault Systems sell frag grenade pouches, but they're a little bit smaller, and for the Hakatsu Thunder Bee grenades I have found that these actually work better. So these are the actual smoke grenade pouches, and that will take two Thunder Bees in there for me. Now what I will say is it can be a little bit awkward getting to them, because you're working on your back section and your arms only go back so far. It's even handier if you have somebody who's next to you in field that can get quicker access to your Thunder Bees for you, but I'll come to my work round on that in a second. Moving up the back I have a Bladder Pouch, which is it holds a fairly decent bladder in it, which is great. On top of the bladder I have my comms pouch, which is my radio pouch. Everything is in multicam, as you can see. Coming up to the top, this is the neoprene tube that takes the water around to the nozzle at the front, which, as you can see, I have here. And I have a camelback protector, which I find invaluable, because otherwise sometimes when you're lying in a prone position you can squeeze on the device at the front, and it can actually make a little bit of a wet patch on you, and you can get a little bit wet from leakage. That prevents that happening, and I just keep that inside tucked away. Again, I have a multicam cover on it because multicam's the loadout I've gone for, and it just looks good. PTT sits on top here, which is nice and handy. It's nice and accessible, and I can just click and make my calls. Moving down, I have a number of devices here that are worth looking at. First of all, I have Carabiners. They are handy for putting on my pins for my Thunder Bees. My gloves can loop onto them. I have tack links, and again these would be used for anything I need to store at speed. I have an admin pouch put on the front, which obviously then allows me to put some insignia that I like to put on. Now this is a web Dominator. These are really handy. A lot of people use them for tying in comms. They use them for tying in bladders and things, or tubes. I use this very simply. I have one on either side to hold on my Thunder Bee sound flash here. As I said, my two ones at the back are very hard to get to, or can take a little bit of time to get to. This gives me really quick access. I have it set up in this way. I just pull out the elastic clip and out she comes. It's that simple, and I can then throw. What I do make sure I have in place, when I have it in place on my rig, when it's in, I make sure that I pull the web Dominator cord through the pin loop. The reason being is because it'll stop anybody, especially in the safe zone, or anybody trying to be smart, pulling the pin out on you and blowing it up while it's actually on your rig. And that does happen, unfortunately, especially with the people I play with. Now, coming down, as you can see, it takes naturally it takes 8 mags. The mags pouches I have are the 3 mags multicam pouches at the front. I've added these as an extra because I use mid caps, and I like to take out a fair number of mid caps. On either side I will either take out, I take the full 12 mids, and then I would have either 2 of these which are high caps in the PMag style version, or like Mark, as you'll see in a minute, I would have maybe a pistol in here, or an S Thunder shower pistol or grenade launcher pistol just here, so it's nice and accessible. So what I can tell you about the Warrior Assault system is that it's not cheap. By the time you buy the base system, when you buy it, it looks cheap enough, but when you add the extra real estate of the modular mole bits, it does bump up the price. But that said, the quality, the standard, and the build is going to last you a lifetime in an airsoft, if you last a lifetime in airsoft, and knowing us, we'll all have heart attacks well before then, running around. But it really is a superb piece of kit. Get yourself onto UK Tactical, check it out, or you can, failing that, you can go onto the Warrior Assault Systems website and have a look at their gear. Thoroughly recommend it. Completely, as I said, modular, so you can change it for your own loadout purposes. And we're going to have a look at Mark's now. Mark has similar rig, slight variations, and you can kind of gauge whether the system is for you or not.
Hey guys, how you doing? This is sort of a follow-on to the piece Jerry's done on his loadouts. This is my primary rig. No, it wasn't always my primary rig. I've sort of gotten to this after a bit of experimentation. I had a full-on Ciraz vest to begin with, but I found it was very bulky, very big. Then I moved to a Warrior Assault plate carrier. Again, a little bit bulky, not a lot of freedom in it. And we sort of, it's strange that myself and Jerry have both ended up in the same place using the Warrior Centurion. This is the Warrior Centurion Elite Ops in Coyote Brown with various Warrior multicam pouches. Admin panel, a couple of extra mag pouches on the front, as Jerry already said in his one. It takes 8 mags as standard on the chest rig, and I've added a couple on the front as well. My loadout is slightly different to Jerry's, purely because everyone has their own individual taste onto how they want to configure their vest. Jerry uses all mags. I've got 2 utility pouches on mine. The one on the right is to carry some tools and some spare 203 grenades, because I use one of the mag pouches for my 203 pistol launcher. I just find it more convenient than carrying a pistol. standard pistol. On the other side I carry BBs, batteries and other bits and pieces. The admin panel, keys, wallet, whatever I want to put in there, and of course I always have the extra storage of the Centurion if I don't want to carry anything else. The back is pretty much standard, same as Jerry's. I got hydration pouch, utility pouch which I put whatever I want in there, radio, and a couple of dump pouches. So that's pretty much it. Jerry's already described what the Warrior gear is like. I can only recommend it because it's absolutely superb. It is expensive, but it will last you as long as you're going to go airsofting. It really is excellent quality kit. So that's my loadout.
So this has been Oddie's Airsoft, and we'll talk to you soon.